So I just wanted to give you an update on my goal to cut refined sugar from my diet. This started with me wanting to cut this sugar addiction that I have. I've had my entire life. I've been really addicted to sugar and sweets, and have been prone to eat a lot of candy and ice creams and brownies and desserts and things like that on a daily basis. I knew it was a problem even back in high school. I knew that it was a big problem because I found myself constantly wanting to stop eating so many desserts, but I just continued to do so. And no matter what kind of goals I had or how much work I was putting into my health, I found that it was almost always ruined when I would reach for a sweet snack, which would then lead to binge eating and really eating a lot of unhealthy calories that were making me feel really bad and really lethargic, and I knew just weren't very good for me. So, I've tried this before. I have. There's been many times where I said, I'm not eating sugar anymore, or I'm not eating sweets, or I'm not eating desserts. But I think this is the first time where I really feel like I'm in a position with my health and fitness, and also with my age, that I'm able to be successful with it. And this is the longest I've ever gone cutting sugar since I've been thinking about it for 20 years now. So this marks the first week that I have cut refined sugar and sweets and desserts from my diet. So the first big change that I've noticed after the first week of cutting sugar is that a lot of bloating that I've had in my body and my physique, it's disappeared quickly, a lot quicker than I was expecting. When I went into this, I was mostly thinking about how if I cut sugar, I would feel better, and that I would have more steady energy, and that I wouldn't feel so addicted to and reliant upon sweets and sugar. What I was not expecting or really even thinking about was losing weight or getting a better body or anything like that. I mostly just wanted to be healthy. But I can't help but say that my physique has slimmed up a significant amount after 7 days. And I know it's just water weight. I'm not saying that I've had like this huge weight loss story or anything like that. It's just water weight from the reduced carb intake that I've had throughout the week. But I've definitely noticed that like a lot of puffiness in my midsection has slimmed down. And so I'm really happy about that. And that's been really exciting to see that there's physical progress that I've experienced, some physical progress that I've made that can keep me motivated for continuing this. On a negative side though, I haven't been sleeping. I'm assuming it's because of my body just experiencing this change of not eating sugar and not having these sweets. I haven't been sleeping very well at all for about a week, getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep. It's been hard to fall asleep. I wake up at a weird hour. One night I woke up at 3:45 and I was just wide awake, and then I was awake for the rest of the day. And it wasn't that I had a lot of good energy. I was really lethargic and groggy and tired. But I don't know if that has something to do with the sugar or the stress of coming back to work after Christmas break. But sleeping has been really hard, and that has made it more difficult to stay consistent with cutting the sweets because when you're tired and you're groggy and you just want some kind of catharsis, right? So you want to reach for a sugary snack so that you can have that kind of euphoric moment to carry you through. So that's been a negative, that I haven't been sleeping, but I have persevered. I have not given in yet. Another positive is reduced inflammation. I've noticed that I feel a little more flexible. I definitely feel more live, like I am able to stretch out and reach my arms over my head and squat down without feeling kind of rickety and feeling my age. I've noticed that there's just a lot better feeling there, and I assume it's because the inflammation that comes with eating sugar has been reduced and that I'm feeling a lot better. Something else that I've read that it can be 3 to 5 days of I've read that after a sugar binge, that it can be 3 to 5 days to have the inflammation from that sugar binge go down, like 3 to 5 days of no sugar, of like eating very healthy, for the effects of that sugar binge that you had to completely go away. And so I guess I'm just hitting that point where it's been over 5 days and I'm really starting to feel good. I don't feel like I have any kind of tension or tightness or little aches and all of that. That's really gone away, and I really believe it's from the lack of sugar in my diet. One thing that I've had a history of doing. I keep up with my calories with MyFitnessPal. I can see through my history that I normally will eat 500 to 600 extra calories a day with sugary sweets. I'm pretty active. I'm really active, actually. I like to run 3-4 miles in the mornings a couple of days a week. I lift weights. I like to play with my kids. I'm an active teacher. I go hiking. I do all kinds of things that you would say is active, but I've never been able to really like get into the shape or the good feeling of being physically fit like I would like to have, because solely because of the amount of sugar that I eat. And in fact, if you look through my history on MyFitnessPal, you would see that I eat pretty healthy. I eat high quality lean proteins. I eat an adequate amount of fat in my diet. I eat a lot of vegetables. I don't really overdo it that much on refined carbs, but when it comes to refined sugars and sugary sweets, I stuff my face full on a daily basis. So it's been something that I've really had to clean up, and it's been a long time coming. Something else. Other foods are tasting sweeter. We made a pasta the other night with butternut squash and sage, and we added some Idell's chicken apple sausage to it, and we roasted the butternut squash in the oven with some butter. And usually we would add some brown sugar and maybe some other thing, maybe some maple syrup to make it a little sweeter, a little bit more of a good balanced flavor. But we just let the butternut squash go in the oven with a little salt and some butter. And eating it, I was actually worried that it was triggering that I'm eating a sugary sweet response because it was so sweet to me. I felt like I was eating candy. So I've noticed that other foods are more satisfying in tasting sweeter. I've also noticed it with fruits that oranges are like tasting like candy, apples are tasting like candy. So I've noticed that my palate is definitely starting to adjust to not eating refined sugars and starting to find other things a lot sweeter. The original goal was to just cut sugary sweets and refined sugars out. But I've noticed that on MyFitnessPal that even eating healthy I'm still consuming sugar, and I would like to cut that down even further with fruits and carbs and other things that have added sugars to them or just natural sugars to them that I wasn't realizing. I was still eating like 30 to 40 grams of sugar a day. That's a lot better than the 100 to 150 grams of sugar a day that I was having. But I've started wondering, well, if I feel this good after cutting just refined sugars from sugary desserts out, how good would I feel if I really cut those, the sugar down? So I've made an effort to limit how much fruit I have and to really make choices with blueberries and blackberries and some fruits that are much lower in terms of how much sugar they have. I've really made an effort to watch out for the little added sugars that show up here and there that you wouldn't expect. Ritz crackers have added sugar. What else? Some pasta will have added sugars to it, even though it's just unflavored pasta. It's just like you look at it and it says 1 or 2 grams of added sugar. Peanut butter, right? So peanut butter has added sugar to it. There's and it can all add up. It can all add up to 30 to 40 grams, or if not more, if you're not really careful. So I've really made an effort now this has just been the past day or two at the end of this first week, to cut down on keep my sugar under 20 grams. That's the goal. Under 20 grams of sugar is the ultimate goal. And I've done that the past couple of days, and I'm really noticing a difference. And I think going forward, I'm even going to try to reduce just refined carbs to a minimum. With my family, it's hard to cut them out completely because my kids eat pasta, my wife eats pasta, and they don't have the addiction issues like I do with sugar and carbs and sweets and stuff. So I'm going to make sure that I'm watching my own intake of carbs so that I am not overdoing it in that department, and really trying to balance out my eating with healthy fats, healthy meats, and healthy vegetables, and see where that takes me in the upcoming weeks. I guess that's it for the first week, and thanks for joining me on this journey of no sugar for 30 days and seeing where I end up. Thank you.